guys, welcome back to our channel / podcast. How you doing? Hope you are well and fine. How has your week been? So today, okay, before that, for those that are on the podcast, yes, you still have your lovely ladies here. So you still have Choma and Choma of Hellowifeypodcast. Like, I don't know how else you differentiate. I'm sure by now you already know our voices.
Yes, by now you already know the difference.
So it's still Choma and Choma here. I hope you've watched all our former episodes before now and you're ready to go into this one with us.
Mm-hmm. So our last episode was about it was about something.
It was about respect.
It was about something that's affecting us. Something that we always talk about, because anyway, we talk about things that affect us.
Yes,
good, bad, whatever.
True. And we don't know which will come first. So just we discussed something there. Just click below.
Just go back and check. Okay, so Siva is telling us about today's topic. So
today, yes, we are talking about change of name. We were supposed to have drum rolls by now.
Let's just pillow.
So yes, so this is like a tricky conversation. There's a lot of fuss in our age and time. There's a lot of fuss about changing name, not changing name when you get married. Do you
wanting to continue your father's name?
If you build something around your initial name, whether you should still put it, you have to change it and all of that. So that's what we want to talk about, and definitely eventually we'll get your opinions on this as well. So today we're talking about change of name. Did you change your name? Did we change our name? What are the processes if you want to change your name, and how does it affect? What difference does it make if you change or not?
Yeah.
So that's it.
So for me, it did not make any difference though. It didn't make any difference for me at all. I think I actually just got the opportunity to now have like a full Nigerian name, taking out my English name, which I still get.
You took out your English name.
Which I still bear.
So you don't want me to be bearing name with you. Look at this young lady. So when you remove my name from your name,
but I still get it. They say, all documents are valid. So for me, there was no difference really. I think the only thing that I've experienced is maybe I want to fill a form. Like when I went for what's that thing? COVID vaccine. And they were like, "What's your name?" I'm like, "What's my name? I don't know my name."
Right now, I don't know which one is my name.
I don't know which name to tell you.
I think I still do that.
And then also when I went for my NIN registration, they were like, "What's your name?" I'm like, "Which one? Which name do you want me to give you?" Because I have two different names. I don't know the one to give. So I'm always having to explain, I just got married.
Yes.
So I just changed my name. And so am I supposed to give you the old name? And they're like, "Which name is on your passport?" I'm like, "Okay, my old name." And they're like, "Give me that one." I'm like, "Okay."
So that's valid. So I think I'm still at that, like, which name do I use? Because in my office I still bear my initial name, not formal, it's initial. So I still bear my initial name, but of recent I got my driver's license, so I just said let me just start
the change
already. Because in the long run, by the time it will still become the new name. So I just did that automatically. And then so the confusion is mostly with work related papers.
Yes.
So if there's any
like
kind
bank,
of
when I went to the bank, I needed a new ATM card, and I'm like, please, I need a new ATM card, and they're like, fill this form, and I started explaining. So I just got married.
So which name do you want?
And the lady's like, have you done your change of name with us in the bank? I'm like, no, I haven't. She's like, okay, let me see, you give me your old name. I'm like, okay, thank you. So that's something that I've always been doing. No, please, which name do you want? I keep explaining myself, this is. And I'm like, nobody told me this part. Like, nobody told me that, I'm going to have to keep explaining myself and saying, I just got married, so my name is
Let me even tell you something that nobody told me, that I had to go to one group and I just asked people. So I think I was filling a form like much earlier in the year, and I was confused. What is supposed to be my state of origin? Is it supposed to change?
No.
So I was asking myself, but wait, is state of origin supposed to change? I kept wondering. wondering for a while. I was like, I was just very confused.
I didn't even wonder how that
I was
was.
like, what is all this stress? All these very little things that nobody told you. So I had
And
to
men
go
don't
to a
even
group
have
and
to
I asked
worry.
them,
Men don't have to worry at
men,
all.
they're not worried about
It's
anything.
we that has to worry about, oh, which name should we put? Oh, are we supposed to still visit our father's compound in the village? Oh, are we still supposed to, like, a lot of things.
Please, oh, I can't brag girls like us. They're always going for Christmas. My grandma is already calling me and be asking questions. When are you people coming back? You and your husband. I'm not like, am I now going? Are we now going to?
Are we coming to your house? They're just little things that I'm like, nobody told me this one, though. Like, okay, Christmas is coming and we're Igbos. The normal thing is go to village.
Yes.
And now I'm just thinking, okay, am I supposed to go to my
Where are we
father's house?
supposed to go to?
Where do I go? And I mean, I've seen people saying, oh, you're supposed to go to your husband's place. You're not supposed to go to your father's house. I'm like, so at what point do I still go back to visit my family? Because they are still my family.
Yes.
The thing now is that I have two families. So at what point do I like go? A lot of things.
So I want to ask.
Change of name, change of identity.
Yeah. So I want to ask, like, did you at a point like intend to keep your name initially, your former name,
My
your
father's
dad's
name. No.
So you were ready. You knew you wanted.
Yeah, I knew I was good. I had already discussed it like time and time again in my head. Like, okay, do I want to keep this name? I've actually done a whole lot of things. I've written books with the name, but I'm like, do I want to keep this name? I'm like, no, I don't want to. I don't want to, because if anything, I mean, me and my husband have discussed it a lot of times. We've discussed how you know how I told you that we're always discussing funny things,
Yeah.
just so that we are sure that we're on the same page.
Yes.
So we already discussed surname, so he's like, so when we're getting married, are you keeping your surname? I'm like, I've not really decided. And he's like, okay, so whatever I decide, just let me know. I just really need to know what page we are on.
Mm-hmm.
One day I now wrote that in my book, Sylvia Choma, and then I look for / I'm like, no. That is too long. No. No. And apart from that, I mean, I already knew that. Getting married, you already know that you are leaving your family to cleave onto this new person. If you kept your father's name, it's okay.
In both faith and tradition.
Yes.
In both faith, if you're a Christian, you're whatever, and tradition, your land's tradition.
Exactly.
That's how it is.
So if you still kept your father's name, we don't have any problems with you. I'm sure your father's name is like something Smith, Falan or Smith, it sounds sweet.
Duro Simeon. Hollywood.
As in Okwebi Island. It sounds good.
Like the people that owned it city, so you just can't
exactly. So if you kept your father's name, that's absolutely fine. But for someone like me, I'm like, if I've already told myself that I need to, and that's one thing that was really difficult for me to change, my name.
Okay.
So I already told myself that if I am going to marry this person, like 100%, and tell myself that I am going to be with this man, we're starting a new life together, we're doing everything together, the hardest thing for me to change was my name. And I knew that if I was able to jump that hurdle of, okay, changing my name, then I'll be good.
We are in.
Yes. So that's why I just said, okay, I'm completely changing. I took my husband's name and surname.
Okay.
Like, the name of my document now is Chioma Akanimo A.M.
Nice.
So I took his name and his surname, not just his name.
Nice.
So you see, I'm name.
That's so nice. Wow. That's so nice.
For someone like me that used to do, I beg you, I'm a feminist.
Somehow I will be trying to avoid this word on this podcast.
We cannot avoid it. We cannot avoid it.
But we can't avoid this word because it's very controversial in Nigeria.
And it's very touchy. Like, you just don't know the way you be saying that they were hair.
Do you understand?
I'm dragging as much. So for someone like me that was I'm very opinionated, I've had this to say.
Yes.
And I'm not the kind of person that you can just write on like that. Especially a man would not just write me like that. And I was already like, well, when I get married, this and this will happen. That one and that one will happen. And nobody will tell me anything. Me and my husband will do this. We will do the chores together. We will cook together. Who has time to do this? Matter of fact, I don't like cooking with people. Like, just let me do my thing. So I think being in the marriage, or maybe before coming into the marriage, I already told myself, Choma, if you say that yes, you're going to marry this person, you should know that 100% you are getting married to this person.
Into it.
So 100%, and that's what I just told myself that, and also a way of, because my husband already knows that this girl is Tokoko, not him. So I think it's also a way of me letting him know that, bros, we are together 100%. So that's why I'm like, okay, I won't just take your surname, I'll take both your name and your surname. So I mean, any day that you feel like this girl, are we still on the same page? Just think about the hardest thing I've ever had to do, which is change my name. I know you might think it's just easy, like fill a couple of documents.
Yes.
It was the hardest thing for me.
It actually
it was the hardest thing for me.
So for me, for me it was not easy. It was not an easy decision.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you are, like she just said, the whole feminist part aside, one part, and then supposedly you're a young lady building a career. You know, sometimes when females are building careers, it gets into your mind. And there's a direction, there's a reputation you are going for, and you just don't want it to be okay. Maybe in the long run, you just be imagining things that maybe in the long run they'll not say, okay, you are giving a man all the energy.
Yes.
And I also thought about now that our generation is shifting from a lot of things, that okay, it's no longer normal for you to just change your name to the masses. So maybe whenever in the future I get to where I want to be, and I'm not one of the few people that changed my name to my husband's name. I was just thinking so many weird things. I was like, so my younger brother, he was always asking me, are you changing your name? Like,
my brother asked me too. I think
I'm this whole feminist kind of my head kind of thing. So he just like, are you changing your name? I'm gonna be like, I'm still.
And that question comes with a you. Are you changing your name?
So like what you said, so many times I had some books or whatever, I'll just write it. Chioma, Sylvia, Wanko, Inyama. I'll say, which kind of stress is this? That how do people do this to themselves? And I'm like, Chioma, like so many things.
So many variations.
Like, is there a way to go around it? And there was even one lady on LinkedIn that I saw one time. So her own father's name is just the first word. Like, so doing N-Ama.
Okay.
So her dad's surname, just the letter, the first letter, yes. Then the new surname. So, like, it just a lot
that
of...
That wouldn't have made sense for me. Because usually the beginning of my father's surname is a vowel. And my husband's surname is a vowel.
Do you understand?
Oh, like saying, I am. Please.
So there was just a lot of mental concerns. I was just like, what's all this stress about? I think I remember we discussed about this.
Yeah, we discussed about it. Like many times, people just come ask me, have you done your change of name? I'm like, yes, I have. Funny thing is, the day we went for, I hadn't even done white wedding when I paid the lady money for change of name.
Really?
It was the day we went for the court wedding. She just met me and she was like, oh, I do change of name. And so I went to meet a friend of mine is the photographer at the court.
Okay.
DOP photography.
Okay. No.
So I just went to meet him and I told him, okay, this lady said she just change of name. Is she legit? Let me not go and give my money to someone that will vanish because there's just a lot of people hanging around.
Yes.
And then he's like, oh, of course, that she's legit, that she has been working here for the past. I'm like, okay, fine, it's okay. And then I paid her to do it for me. And I think it took like maybe another 2 weeks for me to give her the form back because I'm like, do I really want to change my name? I just think it was the hardest thing. I didn't think it would be
It was.
I actually thought the hardest thing for me would be dragging my box and going to my husband's house. But it wasn't hard. I'm like, bye, mom.
Did you cry?
I don't.
Because much later I was just like, I didn't cry, you. Now why didn't I cry? Like
I'll not be seeing pictures online. The bride man be crying. I was like, Chuma, you're not normal. How can you just leave your family?
I was telling myself that this is not normal. That I'm supposed to cry like every people were
Even
crying.
on social media where, I mean, you see them, maybe they'll not be doing father and daughter.
Yeah. Say with you.
Why are you crying? Maybe it's because I didn't see it as far. Oh, I'm leaving my family. Because my mother calls me like every other day and they call me like 1 hour. So, I don't know, maybe it's just because I didn't see it as oh, I'm leaving my family.
So it's just people and whatever works for them and their emotions.
Also, maybe their hormones, yes, maybe their
emotions.
Maybe it was like a week to their period, and you know how we are a week to our period. I was like, oh my god, this sky is too blue. Oh my god.
Oh god. So
maybe,
eventually when I just decided, I was like, fuck it, man. There is no big deal to
I'm ready.
Yeah, like, exactly.
And you really cannot be trying, do I have to change my name? When you've already entered the person house, already there.
So there's no need, and then giving myself undue stress. Because I don't even have the energy to be spelling all these names every day. Because every other day of your life, you'll be filling forms. And now I'm writing four names. No. So I was just like, okay. I went and I did the change of name. And another thing is, sometimes before I take certain decisions, as much as we are in the woke times and we are trying to be modern and all of that, I still have family that I look at. I still have so many of my older aunties that I look at their family, like my excuse me, the wedding sponsors of the chairman, the church sponsor. So they are old in their marriage. So sometimes before I think of some decisions,
and the man has a legacy. Both of them have built something solid
for themselves.
So you cannot tell me because I now take my husband's name,
do
not tell me I'm giving all my life
Thank
to
you.
the man. Yes, I am.
So there are some people that you have to look at as examples, not what we are seeing on social
like
media.
Mentors.
That's my own.
People that have done 30 years in marriage.
So I just okay, no harm came to anybody. These two people, they've built their lives, they've had their children, they've grown everything, and they are waxing strong. And this is what I want. So change of name should be like the least of my worry. My worry now is to build the family and be sure that we are on the same page and we groom a life together.
And also, I think that when people are getting married and all they think of is the negative side, that negative side definitely come and meet you.
So that's why I said I usually somehow subconsciously I just remember them and use them as a model in my mind for some things that I'm doing.
Because if you're getting married and you're like, oh, let me just attach my husband's name to my father's name, so in case something happens, I'll just remove
Thank you. So in case something happens,
that in case that you left
you want that will happen.
Yeah.
So I don't know if maybe people actually got what we just said now, because this is actually very, very important.
Because if you leave room for something, that thing will be filled.
So we're not against people merging names, because on the ground that is understandable is maybe you built something with your initial name, you built a stand, you built a personal brand around it. And you just have to merge so that to ensure continuity and all of that. Perfect. But if you have the mindset that, okay, I'm holding on to my dad's name and attaching it to my husband's name, so that tomorrow, if something happens, so that I will easily just ditch that one and still stay with my father's name. My dear, what is something happens? What is that something that you are giving room for?
And that thing that the person is preparing for will happen.
So, what are you prophesying into your life and your future? What is it?
As long
what do you want?
As long as you're preparing for something, that will happen. It's like
happen.
If you are preparing to cook egusi soup and you've cut the egusi, the okra, everything, the ugu and everything.
Please, you guys cooking the egusi soup with okra inside. That's your people's soup.
If you've already cut everything, like you've done your preparations, the soup must happen. So if you're saying you don't want to,
you're giving room for chances.
Just in case
something happens.
That you're in case would definitely be filled. So if you know you're putting your leg into marriage, you have to put on your leg.
Yes.
Put both of them.
You've done all your due diligence before now, and you're sure that this is the person you're doing this life thing with. My dear, I don't see any problem. It's changing.
I don't.
Yes.
I don't. It was the hardest thing for me, but thinking about it now, like
now that we are discussing it, like there's a
now.
relief, yes. So honestly, there's some kind of relief that yes, we are on the right track. We did the right thing and we did it early enough. Because now whatever else you're building it with your new name, and it also means that whatever we build together, we cannot do and exceed with it.
And you know why I like the change? You know why I like the change of name documents? It says that your old name. All documents are still valid.
Yes.
So it's not as if you bought a house before you got married, then all of a sudden that house is now it's no longer yours or something.
Nope.
It's still yours.
Your property.
All old documents still remain valid. So
you can change your name from birth certificate and change it from primary school maybe certificate. Change it from WAEC, West Africa. Change it from what's university, NECO.
Everywhere.
Change it from JAM. Change it from now. So
from
all your
yes,
we change from baptism. So all your initial documents, they are very, very valid. They're still very valid.
So let's talk about this. If you open your phone.
Okay.
Let's talk about the documents that we had to use to change. Okay, like I said, I met the person that did mine was also the person that did Sylvia's.
Yes.
So
the court she's at Ikoyi.
Yes, she's at Ikoyi registry.
So Ikoyi registry. That was
so she's the one that helped us to do it, and of course, we did not go. We just gave her all of the information that she needs, and it was done for us.
Okay, so for anyone that wants to do change of name, you can go to any magistrate court.
Yeah.
Magistrate court or high court close to you, your location or anywhere, or even in Lagos, and do it. And it is affordable, supposedly, if you go there yourself.
Yeah, I feel like maybe because we didn't go, that's why our money entered 13K. I feel like if I got myself, I paid 200 naira.
That's what, honestly, that's the point amount. If you check the receipt, it's like 200, 500, that's what they pay to the courts themselves.
Okay, but the newspaper, what they pay to
the
newspaper?
Like 3,000, 5,000.
Sweet Holy Spirit, my thank you.
That's just it. So you guys.
But the thing now is that I'm happy I did not go because, like, who has power to be going from one Nigerian parastatal to the other?
So that's the issue. So if you have this time and you have the energy, you go to any magistrate court.
They go with your sunscreen.
Go early and take a seat or whatever and
wait.
Tell them this is you want to do change of name. You have your passport with you. You have the court marriage certificate with you, right?
Yeah.
You have your passport, the female's passport, or whoever wants to do change of name.
It's the woman. I think we're married guy.
So your passport and the court's marriage certificate. So that's what you go there with.
Yeah.
Right? Yes, that's what you go there with. So when you get there, then you tell them and you pay this money here and there. They'll type, you sign, they stamp, and all of that. That is if you're doing it on your own.
On your own.
Then when you are done, you get the affidavit. You get the signed affidavits and stamps.
And receipts and other things.
And the receipt. Then you will go to any newspaper of your choice. So now, I don't know if you have to go to the newspaper companies that yourselves. But I have a feeling that at the courts, some people will be around.
Yes. I definitely have a feeling that media will be there.
Some people will be around that are part of all these newspaper companies. So they will attend to you. Do you want to be printed on newspaper? You give them the details, you pay it down as well.
I feel like they'll be in the court.
Yes, they'll be there. Everybody's always on the road asking you what do you want. So that's the process if you want to do it on your own. But then,
if you want someone to do it for you, which is where I am, because I'm not coming this life to suffer. So if you want someone to do it for you, you just have to send the person the same documents that you would have gone to the court with, which is like your passport photograph, certificate of marriage,
certificates,
the scanned copy of it, and what else again? And your money. And then
when you make transfer and they receive alerts, we're in business.
Your name has changed. So you get to choose. I think the lady gave us. Okay, yeah. So you get to choose the newspaper you want her to do for you, and then you also write like something that says I formally means.
Okay. So that same thing you do it if you are gone. You still feel it there.
Now needs to be addressed as Mrs. This. All former documents remain valid. General public, take note.
Please be aware. Don't say I did not tell you.
So you would snap your marriage certificate, like scan it, and then your passport photograph and your current home address, because now you've changed your house address, and then your current home address, and then you send it to the person that's going to do it for you. Then you also choose the newspaper that you want her to do it.
So, but as you are choosing the newspaper, the money is either going up or coming down.
So there's Punch, Guardian, The Nation, Vanguard, Daily Independent. Which one is Business Day?
Yes, Business Day.
Yeah.
So I don't think we should mention the amount.
No.
When you are ready, if you need the person's number,
because inflation may have happened.
Yes.
So we don't want to tell you 20K and
yes.
you can't get it, not say 45K.
No, it's not 20K, so don't be scared like that.
Yes, actually not 20K.
So if you actually want to do this and you want to use the same lady we used, you reach out to us and in any of DMs, comment section, anywhere, and we'll get
email.
Contact to
yes, I will send it to you so she can get it.
So any of the newspapers, anyone you have emotional attachment to, maybe Guardian, Sponge, This Day, Business Day, Sun, anyone at all that you want.
The one that prints less bad news.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you do it, and that after that, when it's out, they are going to send you a copy of your affidavit, the receipts and all of it.
Even the newspaper.
And then the newspaper of that day.
That your name is in.
Yes.
The one that says.
So a friend of mine, she said the person that she used, I think she went to the court herself, then gave somebody for the newspaper part. So the newspaper part, the person just cut out that page and gave her.
Mban. You give me the whole thing. How much is it?
Excuse me. 200 or 250
like
newspaper. So I feel I kind of like this one, though I don't buy newspaper, but I appreciate that I have one newspaper
in my life.
One full newspaper that whoever is flipping, you don't see where my name is. I think that feels better than just having a turnout page.
What if at the back, the guy wrote around 5 people at the back of that thing, please, no.
So yes, that's
newspaper.
Yes. So that's basically it. And I actually thought it was going to be very, very stressful and a whole lot of process.
Yes, I thought it was going to be stressful too, because I mean, I asked somebody one time and she was like, you have to go to Abuja and do this and do that. And my mother was like, I already zeroed my mind, I was not going to do it though. I was like telling my father, me and you and this name, we die here. We are behind this name
Abuja
forever.
all the way. Who is this, please?
I think she had just gotten married. Maybe they
were in Abuja.
No, she was in Lagos. And then I think maybe she had called someone. Maybe not thinking about it now. Maybe the person she called did their own in 1970.
And in Abuja, maybe the person is even living in Abuja. Because I don't understand.
Because she was like, you have to go to Abuja. That's where they will do it. It's very easy there.
So also, you can do change of name in any state. Anywhere you are in Nigeria, definitely.
But there are courts everywhere.
Yes, there are courts everywhere. You can do change of name anywhere. So it's not limited to the big
Abuja
cities.
or anywhere. Yes,
you can do it anywhere. Newspapers, they are everywhere. So it's the same thing.
I think this lady wasn't just very informed. Or maybe she was in Abuja at the time, so she just assumed, that's where it is.
Yeah, that's why.
If this lady had not come to meet me at the court, I wouldn't bother myself. Because I already had that information of, Abuja, and then I didn't have friends that had gotten married that I could ask.
Yes.
Because when I asked my friend as a guy, I was like, I don't know how she did it. So he didn't know about it.
So my friend that I asked, she did it in her magistrate's court in Yaba. So all along, I was just thinking how I'm going to go to Yaba. Like, I was just thinking, how am I going to go to? Till we talked about it, and I was like, man, this woman should take this money and just.
Let
me not have to go anywhere. Please.
I'm thinking about it. I'm like, okay, maybe I would have spent like maybe 5K less. But let me just assume that the 5K is a workmanship. Because I would not leave my house and be walking under the sun looking for magistrate court.
You know how stressful going to
any government? Yes, it's very stressful though. So I think I prefer that I paid.
Easier.
I prefer that I paid.
So give her money and let her do it for us. I think it's raining.
Really? That's good. Okay, so that's our change of name, Paro. How we didn't do takeaway. That's our change of name, Paro, for how we have been rolling. So our takeaway for this podcast is what?
Do you want to change your name?
Yeah. Do you think it's worth it?
Do you think it's worth it changing your name to your husband's name so that two of you will have the same name?
Yeah, I actually want to know what people think.
Yes.
I want to know what people think. I think my own takeaway from here would be.
And then even people someone that merged the names, I want to know why.
Yes, why did you merge the names? Yes. I want to know what were you thinking, you know, and do you regret merging it? Are you okay with how your name is now? Is it stressful
managing the name? Because I feel it's stressful. Because every other day you go somewhere, you're filling forms online, you're writing your name, writing surname, you'll not be writing long names.
So so my takeaway is, I mean, speaking about it now, I feel better. Like I feel like, I'm not the only one on this table.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel better. So
Yes.
if you also want to keep your name, we're together.
Yes, I feel better honestly. Like relieved. Like it wasn't such a bad, or it wasn't supposed to be so hard a decision after all. But it was worth it, and it's fair and it's fine this way, honestly. So this way, when you're, and somehow I don't know if we're supposed to relate it to children.
Yeah, that's another thing I thought about. I don't want my children to have different names.
Yes.
I want us to have the same name because they
There's
too
so
are
much
going to
psychology.
be. If their name, for instance, is Olana, her name or his name, okay, no, her name is going to be Olana Akanimo Ian. That's what it's going to be. So that's, I want all of us to have the same name. I don't want to have to be bearing one part of my family and then dragging this my new family and then.
You guys tell us your thoughts. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Send us an email. Send us DMs. We're always available to listen to you and get your own opinions.
Yeah, on things like this.
On things like this, yes. So thank you very much for listening and for watching.
And don't forget to subscribe and also check us out on Instagram at Hellowifeypod. Also, you can also reach me on my Instagram page, which is at The Only Chairman.
And myself as well, _Chama Sylvia.
Both for Instagram and Twitter.
Yes.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye, guys.
Peace out. This rain is serious.
Very serious.